Welcome back to the SAHMA Exchange, a podcast where policy, people, and property management meet. Every career has a starting point. For Reese Quick, it started with a set of maintenance tools and a red wagon. More than 50 years ago, Reese entered the affordable housing industry in a maintenance role, hauling his tools from building to building in a little red wagon. He probably couldn't have imagined then that the path ahead would lead him to a career spanning 5 decades. Along the way, Reese has seen the affordable housing industry evolve in countless ways. He's worked through changing regulations, shifting resident needs, economic ups and downs, and the many challenges that come with providing quality housing and building strong communities. In today's conversation, we started with that red wagon and traced the journey from maintenance technician to industry leader. Reese shares the lessons he's learned, the changes he's witnessed, and the perspective that only comes from spending more than 50 years serving residents and communities. Let's jump right in.
Well, when I first got started, my wife got right after the military, got married in Augusta, Georgia, and we was working for a vending company in traveling, repairing vending machines. And my wife worked in that particular office, my wife to be at the time. And we ended up getting married. And her mother was in the apartment business. And so she called her and said, "Hey, we're taking over another apartment community. Would you talk to my wife? Wanted to know if she wanted to be a manager." And she said, "Yeah, we'll be manager." And it was on a 44 unit property in Augusta. And so we started managing. It was for it was a troubled property, but it was owned by the city court judge. And he didn't have any leases back in those days. He didn't have any keys to the apartments. He didn't really know who lived there or anything. So my wife had got it all straight. But in the afternoons, the deal was she didn't tell me about this until later that I had to do the maintenance. So we worked there stayed on that property for about a year. And I still had my other full-time job, and I just helped her out. Didn't know I could get paid until after a year. That's
Wow.
how much I liked the business back then.
Now, if you're like me, you're probably still stuck on the fact that Reese worked for more than a year before realizing he could get paid. So let's pick up the story there, because that's when the red wagon enters the picture and a remarkable 50-year career in affordable housing really begins.
Anyway, her mother was married to a military guy, and he got transferred he was a career soldier, and he got transferred to Germany. And when they went to Germany, she got a big promotion. She got to go to a 100-unit property over in North Augusta, South Carolina. And then I had started going back to my GI Bill in business administration to college at night in the evenings. And she said, "You're going to be my maintenance guy, and you can get paid now, and you can still go to school at night and work during the daytime here at the department." So I took the job and did that for 3 years, working at night. Right. And going to school at night and working during the day. And she had the old philosophy back in those days: you didn't call them a contractor. There was no such thing as contracting. You did all the heating and air, you did all the painting, and you did all the grass cutting, and you did everything. And she didn't think you was working unless you painted 5 apartments a week and did all the maintenance and did all the heating and air and everything else. So anyway, after I got out of school, they gave me a job as a district manager. And and she was my secretary. So we reversed roles. But that didn't last very long, because she went to work for the regional manager after a couple of months. She's like, "I can't work for her.
I can't work for you."
So anyway, I did that for several years. And then in 1980, And I had a little red wagon that I pulled all over the properties where the red wagon came in at. That's where I had all my tools around it. I was cutting for a truck or anything. It was 100 units, and it was all situated in a nice little cul-de-sac area. So I just took my wagon, so I didn't have to go back down to the shop in a few minutes to do something. Yeah. So then after the red wagon deal and became a district manager, they gave me a Granada. Ford Granada to drive, a company vehicle. So I went from the red wagon to the Granada.
So far, we've gone from a red wagon to a Ford Granada and from maintenance work to district management in Augusta. Not bad for someone who didn't even realize he could get paid when he first started. But Reese was just getting started. Let's find out what opportunity came next and how it set the course for the rest of his career.
In 1980. And wow. Then I was a district manager in Augusta for about 10 years. And we managed 25 properties in Augusta. Was my district there in that area. And then in 1990, the company was sold to Insignia Management Group, which was right across the street over it. And in that 14-story building, and I got promoted to a regional VP and covered from Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and Puerto Rico. And I was on the 14th floor across the street. And then we went to in 1995, they were getting ready to be sold to Aimco, and I said, I don't want to do that anymore. And I was traveling at over 100,000 miles a year, flying here and there and yonder. And I went to Columbia, South Carolina, to some old friends of mine that we used to manage property for before they opened their management company up in 1982, and went to work over there in 95. And worked there for about 5 years, and then one guy retired, and then we became president of the management company, and we decided we would start doing fee management business, because that company was only doing stuff that they actually owned. They had 17 properties that they owned, and previously I managed them in a portfolio for them on a fee management basis. And then I've been president ever since. We've grown from like 1,700 units to we have 6,000 units today.
Wow.
In about 5 different states.
That's impressive. That's remarkable growth, from roughly 1,700 units to more than 6,000 during Reese's time at Southern Development Management Company. Growth on that scale doesn't happen by accident. It takes leadership, vision, and a lot of work behind the scenes. So after helping guide that kind of expansion, what does a typical day actually look like for Reese? Let's pull back the curtain and find out. Over 6,000.
Right. Now I've got a black wagon. Got to use for my Inspire inspections. I'm very actively involved in the day-to-day activities for the company or whatever. And I get out and work. We're right there for the maintenance guys when they need me. And but it comes in real handy to carry a box of filters around when you got to change air conditioners and to carry your tools with you and all this stuff when you go.
You can hear the energy in the way Reese talks about his work, even after more than 50 years in the industry. So I had to ask, what has kept that passion alive all these years?
You know, one thing about this business, if you like people, you'll do excellent as long as you show up for work every day. And you got a good attitude. It's one of the basic. That's 3 of the biggest points in property management. You've got to genuinely love to deal with people, and don't mind confronting or whatever you got to do to take care of things to make people feel good, and to take care to give them a good home. Because there's a lot of people that's really less fortunate than what we are, and we're here to help them and to give them a home and to take care of them and to give them training and guidance on whatever we have to do, and always keep a smile on the face.
It's interesting that after all these years, Reese points back to something so simple: loving people, and keeping a smile on your face. Those values may be timeless, but a lot has changed in affordable housing over the last 50 years. So I asked Reese to reflect on the biggest shifts he's witnessed throughout his career.
The technology.
I have to admit, I was expecting a pretty long answer to that question. Instead, Reese summed up 50 years of change in a single word: technology. And that left me wondering, after all these years in the industry, how has he managed to keep up with it all?
Fortunately, yes, I have good people working for me, and that's the most important thing. You got to lead people, but you also got to have good people that want to follow and want to be leaders too.
I thought Reese's answer was telling. When it comes to keeping up with technology and all the changes in the industry, he was quick to give credit to the people around him. And that theme of people kept coming up throughout our conversation. Whether it was coworkers, mentors, or industry peers, relationships have played a big role in his success over the years. So that led me to ask about one of those important professional relationships, his involvement with SAHMA. Why did he first get involved, and what has kept him engaged with the association throughout the years?
I guess it started back in the 80s when I was a district manager when SAHMA first got started. I remember going to a couple of meetings in Atlanta, and when I was just a district manager, we would go, it was like day meetings or whatever. And but it was a good place to meet people, to get information, and it was informative for what was going on in the marketplace at the time, and to meet all the regulatory partners. Since you're in the regulatory, but highly regulated, so might as well get in there and join them and make the best out of it.
As Reese talked about his involvement with SAHMA, one theme kept surfacing, just like this entire episode: the people. And in affordable housing, those connections can be invaluable. So I wanted to know how SAHMA has helped him build relationships, tackle challenges, and learn from others throughout his career.
Well, the networking, and you learn so much information from every company is a little bit different, but in the whole, it all comes together. And in helping solving problems of other things that may have happened that never happened to you before. But by sitting around and talking and different networking and different classes and experience that goes on, all of a sudden that same incident pops up somewhere along the way. And you can rely on information that you got from someone else. Or if you need to call a friend, you can call a friend and get information that you need. So it's just all the people that are involved with SAHMA is just far and above. And NAMA is just far and above what you would get if you didn't attend the meetings or whatever, or participate.
Listening to Reese talk about networking and problem solving, it became pretty clear that SAHMA has given him a lot over the years. So I wanted to narrow it down. If you had to pick just one thing, what has been the best part of being a SAHMA member?
It's helped our company grow, and we've been able to obtain employees and to get them trained, and the classes that they offer, and the communication is been very helpful with the years.
I thought that was a really great answer. Did you notice that Reese didn't talk about awards, recognition, or even his own career? Instead, he pointed to the growth of his company and the opportunities that have come through the relationships and knowledge he's gained along the way. That response really speaks to the bigger impact of this industry, not just on businesses, but on the people and communities we serve. After more than 50 years in affordable housing, I wanted to know, was there a particular moment when Reese stepped back and felt especially proud of the work he was doing?
Anytime that you can see the children, that you can do something that's pleasing to them, that you can help them, and counsel them, or having classes for them, or having activities for them, and seeing smiles on their face, that they have no care in the world, that they're just happy, and things that you could do to do that. And it's left up to us and our managers and our employees to make people feel good.
Most people would have mentioned promotions, awards, or company milestones, but that's not what Reese said. He said it was seeing the impact that affordable housing can have on children and the joy that comes from creating opportunities for them to thrive. That naturally made me curious about how his communities put a special focus on children. So I asked Reese to share some of the programs and opportunities that his companies over the years have provided for children living in their communities.
We have networking. We have the dog that comes and you just the child reads to them and things like that, and have Christmas parties for them, and we have the resource centers. We have make sure that they have food and that they have needs or anything, or book bags and everything when school starts, or anything that happens during the school system during the year, that they need something that make them feel comfortable enough that they can come talk to the manager, and have after school programs for them.
From after-school activities to Christmas parties to school supplies and so much more, Reese definitely just reinforced that affordable housing is about so much more than buildings. It's about creating communities where people, adults and children alike, can flourish. And after hearing him reflect on a career that's touched so many lives, I wanted to ask him this. When he eventually does decide to hang up the keys for good, what does he hope people will remember most about his career and the legacy he's leaving behind?
That I'm fair in every decision that I make. That they can call me to talk to me. My phone number is on every office door that we manage. We manage some 150 some properties, but we put all the key people that are on our that are in our company, their phone numbers on there, include my cell number. And if anybody has an issue, they can't get satisfaction, then they can call me and I'll talk to them.
I thought that was a fitting answer. After all the positions he's held, all the growth he's helped lead, and all the changes he's witnessed over the last 5 decades, Reese hopes people remember something pretty simple, that he was fair and that he was available. Whether it was a resident, a property manager, or a member of his team, he wanted people to know they could reach him when they needed him. Those are lessons that don't always show up in a job description, but they're part of what has made Reese such a respected leader in this industry. So before we wrapped up our conversation, I asked him one final question. For someone just starting their career in affordable housing today, what advice would he give them?
Smile, show up for work every day, and have a good attitude. If you do that, and you like what you do and you love people, you'll be very successful in this business.
And with that, we'd like to thank Reese Quick for joining us on the SAHMA Exchange. From a red wagon full of maintenance tools to leading a company that has grown from 1,700 to more than 6,000 units, Reese's story is a reminder that careers are built one opportunity, one relationship, and one act of service at a time. Over more than 50 years in affordable housing, Reese has witnessed tremendous change, but one thing has remained constant: the importance of people. Whether he was talking about serving residents, supporting children, mentoring employees, or staying connected through SAHMA, his message was clear. This industry is ultimately about making a difference in people's lives. We appreciate Reese sharing his journey, his wisdom, and the lessons he's learned along the way. And thank you for listening to the SAHMA Exchange, a podcast where policy, people, and property management meet. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, share this episode with a colleague, and join us next time for another discussion with the leaders and changemakers shaping the affordable housing industry. We'll see you next time.